jet.
But so it's, yeah, it's, I'm saying
It's
it's
crazy.
New Jersey,
Like, here in New
American,
Jersey,
but
that's
it's
like
still.
13 miles offshore. or
Have they
something,
charged
where
at
you
this
can
door?
discharge. But
Every month.
there, you
This
can
is the
discharge in
same
the
standard
marina.
bills
Every
that
month.
Australia's been receiving,
Yeah.
and been
And the water
paid
still
for by
being
the
every
town,
month?
by the town,
It's in their tariff.
by the
But
LBC
I, the
before.
reason I was thinking, because of the stadium.
One of them.
I know, and I just really, yeah, but he started.
I mean, I can
they're
ask
paying
for
like
clarification,
The stadium,
but
which they
one of
never
them
did,
says
they missed
fire
it for 10
service,
years.
and I thought that
Because
says the
they
sport
don't
pipe.
have good records.
That's to feed the.
Do you know why?
Okay, yeah, so, but I didn't know if New Jersey American always did or did not.
I believe so.
I believe
Because
that
it just
this
started with
has
the other one.
been-
Yeah, exactly.
You have to
Do you know why people?
Oh.
No, no.
I have to leave.
They get the CO.
I have to leave.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the light is on.
Yeah, I would do this again in a second. This was so much fun.
Let's do this.
I want to do it like the end. I want to do
No,
One
no,
second,
I got
please.
nothing.
Oh, wait, hold on one moment.
Okay, all right. I just wanna get.
I have to, yeah, I have to log this thing
I have a
in.
meeting at 10:30 with Pat, and I
Yeah.
got this meeting, and then I gotta
I
pick
have to
her
go
up. and
into
I'm gonna- we're
the,
all
signing into
going.
the Lakewood Town.
Day never ends, right?
When you get to the pool, yeah.
Yes, when I get back home, we get in the wireless.
Yes.
Hey, Jeff, on that issue for the 35-foot wide road, okay, I talked to Lichtenstein and the mayor. We're putting it on the agenda for the workshop for the next meeting.
Okay. Do you want me there for the workshop?
I don't think so.
If you do, let me know.
Actually, coming from the Board of Fire Commissioners to the township,
I was logging into employee
I'd like to
access
see a
wireless.
35-foot road.
Oh, you got.
But the other four guys, I don't know, it's 32 now. 32 is what the planning board is.
Right.
Nothing is in the master plan. Very vague from what I
Time
saw.
now
Right.
is
32 with parking on both sides.
11:34 a.m.
Ruby Brush done.
Today is
like
Wednesday,
Westgate.
July
32 has been,
10th,
it was that, when I was on the Board of Fire Commission, it was worse. I talked to Minaj and Mayor before I came on the Kent Township Committee.
Calling to order.
All right, call the meeting order. Please raise the flag salute. Jeff, say aye.
I
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have a moment of silence for all our troops that are serving, have served around the world. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. Roll call, Anita?
Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Mr. Calabro,
Here.
Mr. Flansbrough, Mr. Katz, Mr. Schuster, Mr. Stafford Smith, Mr. Kirchner.
Present.
We have a quorum, thank you.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, just at the point, does anybody have anything for the Township Committee? I have to leave at 12:30, 12:35, something like that. So if anybody has anything that they want to bring up for me to bring back to the Township, please do.
For the township, just keep up the good work.
Keep up.
Keep supporting us.
Keep saying yes.
You're doing great.
Keep saying yes.
Yeah, right?
Okay. What do we have? Any guests, huh?
Catherine Kim is representing our attorney.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay. And the minutes we're gonna pass on.
The
So,
minutes.
yeah, they've been distributed.
Okay.
Move to accept the minutes.
Second.
Did you take my notes?
In favor?
Aye.
Okay. That's Liz.
That one is closed. That's the minutes that we're approving, because we don't have
Okay.
minutes for this
Well,
week.
you're right.
Have a motion by
Mr.
Calabro
Calabro.
and a second by Mr. Stafford Smith.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nays? None? Carried. Minutes, finance statement of accounts.
Statement of accounts is in your packet, and it is page 2 through reflecting our balances, interest earned, letting you know that we did receive a lease payment from one of our tenants on Lot 9. Just recently, it hasn't posted to this list yet, it has to be deposited. And as you can see, that we're receiving lease payments as required and as scheduled. I'm looking only for an acceptance of the statement of accounts.
Okay, you don't need roll call.
Move to accept the statement of accounts.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. No? Good, okay.
We have a bill list, that is, one bill list portion is operations, one bill list is Strand Apartments account. There are two different accounts. Just advising you that most of the charges are statutory. The Gannett newspapers, we did a display advertisement, digital advertising, canceling an auction that we had scheduled. The rest of them are standard invoices, and with regard to the Strand, the majority of them are standard. The aggressive property maintenance has description. The Strand board has the breakdown of what consists of that invoice. They're standard operational costs. Treasurer, State of New Jersey.
But this is actually 2 months because of our usual August recess. We don't usually
Yes.
have a meeting in August, so the bills that you see here reflect 2 months of bills. Our approach always is if something comes up that requires us to call a meeting, we'll call a meeting in August, but we usually have actually an action on here under new business to vote to cancel the August meeting because people are usually on vacations and what have you. So that's in anticipation of that, we set up the bill list that way. We do every year. Item number 119 for the Strand account, the Treasurer, State of New Jersey.
Yes. It's an annual inspection registration with State of New Jersey for life hazard is required when you have, I guess, tenants. I think that they do arrange for an inspection. This is our first year of doing this. And I'll keep you in touch as to.
So this is something that was registered under the previous Lakewood Development Corporation. This is now transferred to us, so it's a standard inspection.
Bureau of Fire Code Enforcement.
Okay, well,
Okay, move to accept the bills.
Second.
all in favor?
Here, you gotta do a roll call.
Ladies?
No, we're gonna do
You
a
want a
roll
roll
call.
call on this?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'll need a motion.
Okay, on roll call for the bill list, Mr. Brooks,
Yes.
Mr. Calabro,
Yes.
Mr. Flansbrough, Mr. Mr. Katz, are you going to? Oh, gosh. Mr. Schuster arrived just now, too. Okay. Mr. Katz, on the bill list, did you want to?
I'll abstain.
You abstain, okay. And Mr. Schuster on the bill list that we just
Yes.
abstained? Oh, yes, go ahead, thank you. Mr. Stafford Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Kirschner?
Yes, except for item 3756, well, abstain on.
Thank you.
Budget to actual report, control that movement because we're still waiting on the county to come forward with plans for Schedule C. You know, those things that we still have on our budget for our larger ticket items, still waiting for some movement on the other end before we can act on it. So it's pretty much, you know, small items that move forward. And again, this is for informational purposes only. It doesn't require any action.
So, budget tax report, we're going to do comments from the public.
We're up to comments from the public.
Comments from the public?
Anybody?
Welcome, everybody.
We did want to bring up,
Name, just for
Come
the
on.
record, just for the
Sorry.
record.
Come up, say
Is
hello.
that loud enough? Pretty loud. Deanna from Cedar Management. So we did want to bring up a little bit of the streets, so I know you guys are on some kind of paving schedule to get a lot of the streets in the industrial park cleaned up and repaved and, you know, back to, be up to par. There's a couple of streets in particular that we think may need a little bit of attention. I know we're scheduled to do some more paving work by the end of the year. I'm not sure which roads were picked to be done, but we just wanted to bring to the attention that, you know, in particular, Airport Road is really, really bad. And Oak Street also is very bad, as far as the potholes, the sinkholes, and, I don't know if you guys had that on the schedule to be done next, but if you can look into it to be, you know, sooner rather than later, it would be greatly
Any
appreciated.
particular section of Airport Road?
Really, I think the beginning's not so bad. I think as you start to go down, towards the curve and, you know,
Okay.
around the end, it gets a little bit worse. Bennett
Yeah.
Boulevard's also very bad. I know where they're building the training facility, but, those two roads in particular are definitely, if you
Yeah,
could
Oak
look at
Street, Oak
those,
Street's on our list.
those next, that'd be great. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Jeff Hale with the solar companies and LIPAC, and I just wanted to kind of jump on the same topic that, you know, Airport Road, from the portion of Church and Dwight running south, and the turn itself, there's a couple of very serious dips.
On the curve.
Correct. And then the pavement quality from that point down to 70 is pretty patchy and spotty. As you know, that's a really busy intersection with truck traffic. And as you make the right onto Oak Street heading west, where we have a substantial concentration of buildings, there's a couple of serious dips that have been there. You can see where the cars bottom out on those dips. Now, we have two new sinkholes that are pretty deep and they hit you pretty sudden on Oak Street West, and you can't really see it coming. And cars are kind of hitting this one particular low spot, and they're reacting, because I've hit it. And now people are dodging the sinkholes.
You mean just past the water tower, just so we're on the
Right,
same-
I would say just east of Payco,
Yes.
headed eastbound,
Yeah,
in front of AccuPack. There's a newish sinkhole, it's towards the curb, but it's pretty deep and it doesn't have a lot of pitch to it, so you kind of hit it and then all of a sudden your front end is kind of on a different track. So, again, we're just reiterating our concerns about safety, and to the extent that Airport and Oak, which are major business corridors with major truck traffic and pedestrian traffic, I might add Oak Street is a freeway at times. These are really becoming serious safety problems on those roads. To the extent, Mr. Ryman, I don't know the priority list, but
That's on the top of the list.
okay.
Now, we're just gonna. go
Squeak the
forward
wheel
again.
gets the oil,
It's good
but,
that
I think that his complaint should be taken to Pat immediately, so we can send public workers out there.
Yeah.
That might be where that steam line would lead.
Yeah, that's what we've been trying to determine.
So you can see the collapse is right across the road in 2 or 3 spots,
I
which
think
indicates
that's-
there's something under the pavement that's no longer solid.
Yeah.
In addition to some of these sinkholes, which are really starting to pop up.
Okay.
In the same area, so it's.
Pat should be on that
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah, that was part of our plan to work with the county on that, but if it's more emergent than that, then we'll.
No, that's
we'll just deal with
something
it
that
now.
we should get on
Yeah.
immediately. Also, Jeff, do you have a list of the roads that are on, targeted to be done out there?
We applied for some grants to do some roads in the industrial park. I believe it included portions of Oak. I don't believe it included portions of Airport. We applied also last year for a grant, and we did not receive the grant last year.
Well, what's on the list to be done this year that we've already earmarked for this year? That's what I'm looking at.
Paving wise?
Yeah,
Nothing in the industrial park.
okay, that's what I thought, and that's what I wanted to hear. Either you or before I leave, I'll talk to Pat
I'll
on that.
go there right after the meeting.
That's a must.
No, we would appeal to the committee on behalf of the industrial park that both pieces of road are in really bad shape. And particularly that intersection of Airport and Oak is really got some issues.
It's been an issue with the township committee too, and it was just, it's a problem, but if we have sinkholes or anything like that, that has to be addressed immediately. And I will talk to Pat myself before I leave.
Okay, great. Appreciate your consideration.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other statements from the public? All right. Mr. Ryman.
I was gonna talk about roads, but now we just did.
They're good county roads, aren't they? At least.
While we work with the county, no, they're not. There is a portion of Oak Street that is county road,
Yeah.
the first portion, but we're talking about the inner part of, not Oak, excuse me, Airport. The inner portion of Airport is a township road, and it's certainly something we have to do.
Yeah.
But we have a cooperation arrangement with the county, as all the towns do, for the county to be able to come in and bring certain economies of scale that help us. So we've done it in the past, and it's really paid off very well. We've got something like a 3 or 4 to 1 bang for our buck. And we're looking to do the same thing again, to do more roads in the park, and we're dedicating, a fair amount of money towards that effort. It's just a question of actually getting it not only scheduled, but then done.
I know
COVID
we've
and
talked
other
about
areas.
this many times, I've taken. the
There's no
road.
question, there's a dip there, and it's been getting progressively worse, so we definitely have to get after it. If it's now developed into a sinkhole, there's no question that we have to give it immediate attention. The other thing is that the PD and OEM have approached us for some temporary space, so we're working out the details of that so that they have some additional capability using some of our available hangar space for some emergency equipment, but it's actually a good opportunity to share a resource across the township. So we'll keep everybody apprised of that as we go forward. The rest of what I have is litigation on contract based, so it will be in closed session.
Okay. Attorney, anything to report?
Oh, those would be discussed during the session.
Okay. Any correspondence, Anita?
Nothing that I have.
No nasty grants?
No.
Committee reports? How's our sign doing?
Well, we're still waiting on the sign company, Bulls, in their court right now for when they're ready to deploy, but we're ready.
Okay.
And as far as Strand, for anybody who's had opportunity over the last few weeks to go by, there was fencing. As everybody remembers, the fascia was the cornice of the top, where the roof was pulling away. We've effected all those repairs. I think they've completed, they had like one little patch left to paint, but you can see that the street fencing has been removed, the sidewalk is reopened to the public, the danger is past. And we've actually been able to, apparently whenever that thing was built, it was just put in, there was mortar, there was nothing really actually securing it to the building, so we've repaired all of that. There's, I guess, technology changes over 90 or 100 years. So they've gone back and repaired it the way it should be done. We're not done with all the bills yet, and we're not done with our claim with the insurance company, so we're still hopeful of reclaiming some of that. But the good news is our capital account that's set aside for that has more than enough money to cover the cost of those repairs. I think we're into it for somewhere in the mid-20s so far, and we'll probably end up closer to 40 or maybe a little bit above that. Had to be done.
I drove by there an hour ago, the lift is still there.
The lift is still there because we're still doing a little bit of brick pointing, and there's some window related, there's some minor activity that still needs to take place.
You know, a few
Preparation
months
for the
ago,
winter, so.
They painted all the fire escapes.
Yes, so, but the lift gives them a real unique opportunity, because you pay for it by the month. So we have actually a few days left on that, and we're taking advantage of that for them to do things like brick pointing, which is
Okay.
really necessary. That's, you don't want loose bricks falling. So this is a good opportunity. They've actually gone through and repaired all of that, and I think they're doing some gutter and leader work on the front and maybe in the back of the building as well, so that they, get everything ready for the winter sets in.
Okay, that's it.
That's it. Now we're up to marketing.
Marketing and public relations, Mrs. Kirschner.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
Hi, everybody. So I wrote an article about the LCSW and the Lakewood Police Department held a Safety First Watch, one of the biggest safety programs in the state. It was at the John Patrick sports complex, and they did bike registration, helmet fittings, car seat checks, helicopter landings, all kinds of exciting things, and free giveaways. So I reported on that. I want you to know there's a wine tasting at the Lakewood Museum, the Lakewood Historical Society, and the Lakewood Heritage Commission want you to come. It's only $25, and you will get wine and also appetizers by Pizza Plus, and the money goes to the museum. It's our museum. So I hope you can support that. That's from 2 to 5 p.m. on July 14th. Okay, next. I just wrote an article, it hasn't been published yet, called What the Dickens? The great-great-grandson of literary icon Charles Dickens is going to be performing A Christmas Carol at 2 p.m. Sunday, December 15th. And I know it's kind of early to tell you all this, but they want to get everybody there. Meet him, fill the theater. So that's that. And then this one's, I think, very important. As a matter of fact, I made a copy for all of you. The Strand Board is going to honor our first responders. This is, you know what, they're there first. They take care of us. They do everything when we have an emergency. No questions asked. The honorees are the Ocean County Sheriff's Department, the Lakewood Police Department, Lakewood Volunteer Fire and Regular Fire, Volunteer First Aid, EMS, Office of Emergency Management, Hatsala, the Lakewood Civilian Safety Watch, Coverin, the Police Benevolent Association, and Birka Choline. So they're $100 for the tickets, but you get a kosher buffet dinner from Pizza Plus, open bar from 6:30 to 8, and then after that, the awards ceremony and a cash bar. But anyway, you don't want to miss that, right?
Sounds amazing.
No. So here's a copy for everyone.
We have
Oh, you have it there?
I have one of the, yours is probably better.
I hope so.
Ours is just about the advertising.
Okay. I expect to see you all there.
Don't forget to show up.
The Kirschners will be there. Okay, did you get one, Tommy, or no? Okay, Neil? I feel like I'm back to my teaching days. Kirsch, you're not getting one. Anita, you need a copy? If any of you want a copy, let me know. I'll send it to you.
Okay. That's it. Thank you, Mrs. Kirshner.
You are
Thank you, Mrs.
welcome.
Kirshner.
Old business.
My
Anita?
pleasure.
I have nothing on the
Okay.
agenda.
New business. I'll talk about the schedule.
Yes, so as I mentioned earlier, it has been the practice to vote in July to cancel the August meeting unless there was something that we know is time sensitive. Again, we always have the option on a couple of days' notice to call a meeting
Yes.
if we need to act on a contract or something. So that option is still there unless anybody has any objection. I would ask just for a motion and a second to cancel the August meeting. Move to cancel the August meeting?
Second?
Just have a
That's an all
voice.
in favor.
All in favor?
Aye. And then, the next item is the Strand Ventures event. I guess as owners of the Strand, the question then is, we have participated in a number of these events, whether it be the Strand or really any local entity that either honors or somehow is connected to members of this board, for this board to then either take an ad or buy tickets and so on, that supports the event. So that's just thrown out there for people to consider if they want to do it. I think it's a nice thing we've done in the past, and it certainly is an entity that we support. That's why we're in the position we're in. So if anybody wants, yes,
Make a motion that we participate
an ad and
in the program.
second.
All in favor?
Let's,
What the
Do we
price?
know which one?
What the
call the
price?
roll on
I'm
that.
gonna do a roll call.
What, should we
So we're gonna talk
specify
about an
which
ad.
ad?
Do a roll call.
Are we talking about 300, 500?
Do we also want to have any
Yeah, do we
representation?
want to sponsor tickets for
Yeah, we get a
members?
table.
So in the past, we've done it to however many members want to come. And then we just buy tickets accordingly. not really sure what the ads are.
They're right here.
Somebody
Listed?
wrote it. Listed?
I don't know who wrote
Oh,
it.
sorry, I didn't see it. Okay.
Do you wanna do 5 tickets and full page ad, I guess? Half page ad?
Who's available?
Yeah, I'm available.
Neil, Mike,
I'd probably go.
who is able to go? I think Zoe, right?
We're already going. I paid for the tickets.
We're paid for it.
Steve?
I'll go, you'll go.
Okay, so that's 5 of us.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
So 5 tickets and a full page ad? Okay,
Sounds like a plan.
if you don't mind, let's do a roll call on that one, because that's a,
That's fine.
yeah.
You want a
Clarification,
formal motion on it?
what are we doing?
We're doing 5 tickets and a full page ad.
Okay, I move that the industrial commission purchase a full page ad and 5 tickets
I think Mr.
for the
Schuster did.
event.
Okay, you're second here,
No, he's actually
right? Mr. Schuster
first.
already said.
Formally the amount, the tickets and the amount of it.
Yeah, I didn't mention any of it.
Okay. All right, second on Mr. Claros. Second on. All right. Roll call on that.
Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
Mr. Calabro?
Yes.
Mr. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Schuster?
Yes.
Mr. Stafford Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Kirschner?
Yes. All right, I guess. You can go into closed session.
Yeah, we need a motion to go
Motion to
close.
go into closed session.
Move to go to closed session?
Second.
Seconded. You need to roll.
No, just
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'd like to
Okay.
read the resolution into the minutes while.
Okay.
Whereas Section 70 of the Senator Byron and Dare Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting under circumstances, and whereas the Industrial Commission of the Township of Lakewood is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it resolved by the Industrial Commission of the Township of Lakewood in the County of Ocean as follows. The public shall be excluded from discussion of private and confidential matters involving any of the 9 exclusions as set forth in Section 70 and of said law and as hereinafter specified. The general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows: contract negotiations and litigation. It is anticipated at this time that the above stated subject matter will be made public only when the reasons for discussing and acting on them in closed session no longer exists. Said determination will be made by a further resolution adopted by the Industrial Commission, and this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Well done with whatever they need help with, so.
Okay.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, now you're gonna get your hand slapped. I was like the invisible.
Okay.
She's getting.
Okay. Yeah, I don't care. I think it's on again.
Lights on.
It's on.
Lights
Is that
on?
good?
Yes.
All right, consent agenda resolutions, any?
No resolutions.
No resolutions. Comments from the chairman. Just thank you, everybody, for showing up today.
Thank you.
You can invite the public in.
Oh, come in?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're invited.
All right.
Okay.
Food's not included.
No, okay. Okay.
All right, thank you, Chairman. Comments from the commissioners.
Just one quick, congratulating Commissioner Brooks, he became a grandfather 2 days ago. Healthy baby girl.
And those baby girls love their grandpas. Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Oh, do we need a motion to,
Howard Quadro transaction for the committee to act.
Okay, if you want to, yeah, sure. So just, there's a, just need a motion in a second.
I move that the subcommittee be given the authority to act on our behalf with
Yeah.
regards to
The
policing
contract will only
department.
be executed subject to another meeting. This will just allow us to, allow the client to do what he needs to do by September 1st.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just a comment on Oak Street dips.
Yes.
That's what I call them.
Yeah.
They've been there forever.
Yeah, there's no question that there's something below the road surface there, but we haven't been able to determine, there's no plans that we've been able to find, either at Public Works or Industrial Commission or anybody that can show that, for example, there's speculation that maybe steam lines were run under there at some point, with cogen, or I don't even know. But but it goes back so far, nobody can really tell that particular area. Yeah, it's been there for a long time, but it's been getting progressively worse.
And the fire truck
Maybe
never
it just, may just be the regular,
Hit right off the ceiling.
you know, just
The
the,
piping in there collapsed, it could keep going down.
I don't know
So
what's-
once you dig
again,
a-
we don't know what's
dig a
under
pilot
there.
hole, just go down there and see.
so I
On the
think
side of
Public
the
Works
road.
is probably doing that. We'll follow up with them and see what's what. But there's no question that it's a treacherous area and it gets an enormous amount of traffic, so there's no question we have to do something about it. Okay, we get a
It's almost like
motion.
drainage.
We have a motion?
We have a motion to
We have a
adjourn?
motion, no, we have a motion.
No, except the motion
Oh,
on the
motion on that,
budget.
so, yeah, so that's all in favor.
Hold on.
Aye.
Otherwise,
Wait for me. What do we decide about the spreadsheet on all these things? Anita's good for that?
She
Yes.
already started it.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Anita. Get a handle on that. All right?
Okay.
Adjournment,
adjourn.
all in favor?
Move to adjourn.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
See you both pitch.
Whoa.